Actually got a lot done with the code. So I started the day out, refactored a whole bunch of stuff, like went back and redid my context documents for my microcontroller code, for my like core Linux software code, how to do that. And then I threw that into my AI engineering team and started coming up with new plan for the day, because the stuff that was working the day before didn't seem to be quite clicking. So I needed to update a lot of my documentation. So I spent some time doing that, and then was able to generate an instructional document for the day. So basically a plan to get me to the next step, or at least where I wanted to be. And that actually worked out really, really well. So what I ended up doing was taking my old plan. I had AI go through and update everything that we had done the day before. I fed that back into my engineering team and said, I need to come up with a new plan for the day. Here's the issues that I had yesterday that didn't seem to quite be working out. Maybe we need to look at some of these documents. Is there anything that's conflicting, anything that needs to be updated or changed? And so it went through and it's like, oh yeah, there's a few things that we probably need to tweak. There's some ambiguity here, and I'm not sure that it's the best way to get to what you're trying to do now. So here's a new process for getting to where you want to go. And so I was like, great, that's awesome. It asked me a couple of questions like, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with this? And what do you think about this? And where is this like buffer reference? Like, why is that in here? And why is it set to what it is? So I took that initial context or initial document, I threw that over into AI Studio with the latest version of Gemini. I said, hey, here's the plan for the day. Here's all the context documents with the new code structure, with the new microcontroller structure, of course, my reference documents for the business and everything else. It's like, how does this plan look? It's like, yeah, it looks pretty good. Here's 2 things you need to tweak, and you should use this tool instead of the tool that you've got in there for this implementation. It'll be better. It's better supported. So I was like, all right, cool. So I took the feedback from that, threw it back into my original engineering team and said, hey, here's feedback that I've got for the plan you have. What do you think? And it's like, oh yeah, let me adjust what I'm thinking here and here, and now I still need you to answer these couple of questions. 2 of them were technical. I didn't know the answer because it's like, where is this buffer referenced within your code and why is it referenced that way? Like, what's the thought process there? So I took that, I threw that into my development environment and gave that to my AI. And I was like, hey, here's the plan. Here's the feedback. What do you think? It gave me its feedback and then answered the questions. It said, these questions, here's where this is located. This is why it's located here. This was the original intent and thinking and why it needs to be this way. With your answer or with your question regarding, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's like, yeah, I think that makes sense. We should do it this way. So here's the suggestion, what I would suggest doing to answer the questions that you had. So I threw that back into my engineering team's AI. I said, here's the answers to your questions. Can you generate a final plan? It dumped that final plan out, took the additional context that I had, and then I put that back into my development environment with the updated plan and all the updated code structure reference documents, updated serial protocol information, then started working that plan like step by step, which was awesome because it was actually like working, getting things implemented, troubleshooting stuff. And eventually I got to a point where I was kind of stuck. I think I was just kind of fatigued and just kind of done for the day. So I saved everything. It was a point that I could revert back to if I needed to. And I threw it into agent mode and I said, hey, here's the challenges. Can you fix it? And it started going in probably about 2 hours with the AI back and forth. Eventually it got to a place where it was all working, which was just amazing. And it would analyze all the different files that I had. It would go back to my context. So like it would look at something and be like, oh yeah, I think we probably need to update this. Let me reference the original context document to see what it fits into, see how to best implement it, and then look within the code structure to see where it should be best implemented and how it should be interact with other parts of the code. We'd have issues, run it, I would run some tests, and it would look to see like on the output, like, oh, everything's working like we expect. The output is exactly what I would expect to see. And then there would be some times where it wouldn't work. And I would feedback like, hey, here's the results. Here's what's happening. I'm not seeing the user interface do what I think it's supposed to do, or I'm seeing it do this. And then it would go through and it would just start troubleshooting. And in some cases, which is just amazing, in some cases, it would write its own test programs. It would like code in what it thinks is a fix, and then it would write its own test programs, even build into the GUI for me to like load up and press test this protocol button. Then it would just go through a series of tests, analyze the results, and be like, oh yeah, these features are working because we got the results that we expected from our tests. And it was just amazing. So it got to a really good place last night. One of the big takeaways from all of the AI management that I did in the morning is that I had an incredibly detailed, specific, and accurate reference document, the plan, to actually have the AI step through it. And because I was able to provide that context, it was able to actually just work through it. One of the things that I learned was how valuable the inputs are. If you get it right, it can just do the thing, which is amazing. So I also added in the prompting for Visual Studio Code. So now I can just go run my prompts, which will update my code structures for the Linux host side and then also for the MCU, the microcontroller side. It takes, I don't know, 3 minutes. It'll run, it'll update the documents, and then I have updated reference documents for how my code is structured, what all the features are, the functionality of everything. And so the AI can just quickly assess that. All of my AIs can reference that, and it's constantly updated now. Like when I finish something, I update it. And then at the end of the day, I have it go through and be like, can you document what we just did and add that to daily accomplishments? It'll go through and add that to daily accomplishments. And then in agent mode, what it did last night is I was like, all right, can you add this to the daily accomplishments list? Like compile what we just, or summarize what we just did, add that to the daily accomplishments. It did that, and then it automatically just went through my other context documents and updated those as well, just automatically. So now all those documents are updated as of last night, and I still wasn't done stepping through all of my instructions. And the thing that killed me is like, I have to go to bed. Like at some point I have to sleep, and so everything just comes to a halt, even though it's sitting here being like, hey, do you want to continue? And I'm like, yeah, I want to continue, but I can't because I'm exhausted and I have to sleep. So I'm like, if I could just have somebody like that I could train up and just has like a basic understanding that could step through some of this stuff. Like I could save it off and they could walk through it, and in the morning I could have AI summarize everything that was done. I just need them to be in a different time zone so they can work overnight, so I could do this around the clock. It would be amazing. But at some point, like that's how it will go. Like you will need to work around the clock because the AI can do it, the human being can't. And so you're gonna have to find human beings in different time zones or that are just working shifts to run this and keep it going. Will be the eventual plan. I think that's the play. Today is just continuing with integrating the serial protocol. You can switch between ask and agent without losing the context of the conversation. So I could go through it with ask and use like a deeper thinking sonnet, and then when I'm ready to implement what I've come up with, switch over to agent and just be like, hey, can you run this? All right, we're looking to see what is next on the list of things to do. I did have Gemini 2.5 come back last night, so it was interesting. Like 2.0 would be there, nothing else would be there. 2.0 Flash, and then 2.0 Flash was gone, and 2.5 Pro experimental I think was back. So they're doing something on the back end, or my specific IDE of VS Code, which I don't know. Maybe it's stuck. It just says it's thinking. Maybe I just need to close it, open it back up. It's been running all night, not doing anything. Maybe, good old, you tried turning it off and on again. But yeah, so that's the plan for the day. I'm going to keep working through this. I'm going to keep updating my context materials. I am now at a phase where I am building just implementing the features and getting the UI built and actually getting the thing built. So it's a good place to be. A lot of prep work went into getting to this phase. So excited to actually get this thing, get a prototype built. So that's what we got going on today. Still waiting. Kill it. This code again. CU code, context, real protocol. Oh, let's add daily. Got a lot done yesterday. Can you look at doc? Can you figure out what the next steps should be? I think we were in the middle of the small tests. So now it's got all of those context documents. Not that it wouldn't have searched them out anyways. Oh, I did ask it and ask, so that could be part of it. Because agent mode will go and look at other files automatically. Ask is a little bit more specific. Maybe I need you back to agent. It's not. It's probably what I should have done. But looking at it, it looks like it did. Grab, screenshot. Cool. All the assets can go together. So it looks like we've got mini test point 1, 2, and 3 are done, and we have mini test point 4, 5, and 6. So we can keep working through those. All right. Thanks, everyone. Until later, probably today, because I'm sure this is just going to blow my mind, and I'm going to have to talk about it. All right. See ya.